This is a huge step forward for mobile gaming. Apple just announced that you can play all these big AAA games natively on the iPhone 15 Pro. Having a powerful gaming phone is nothing new. I mean, ROG does it. We got Nebula with the Red Magic phones, but this is a little different just because it's Apple. And the main thing here isn't just about the hardware, it's the fact that they have developers on board that are going to release these AAA games natively on the iPhone. I think they saw the success of Steam Deck, Nintendo Switch, and ROG Ally and said, why not? There's clearly a demand there for portable gaming. So Apple said, hey, let's make some of the biggest AAA games playable natively on iPhone. This is all, of course, on the iPhone 15 Pro with that new A17 chip. I guess you won't be able to run them on the regular iPhone 15, but I'm gonna see how that's gonna work. I don't know if the regular one can run the same games, but at a lower setting. Apple's comparing this new A17 chip to that of high-end gaming PCs, but is it really gonna be that good? It's a 6-core GPU that's 20% faster than the current A16 chip. There is hardware accelerated ray tracing capabilities. Even the Steam Deck doesn't have that. Interesting how they show this new chip at 30 FPS and not 60 FPS in this comparison. Hey, maybe they're just setting expectations here. Then there's a new upscaling tech they have, Metal FX. That's what they're calling it. Think of it as Apple's version of AMD FSR or Nvidia's DLSS. Metal FX is gonna sample a lower resolution image and then upscale it, and that really allows you to have a higher performance, higher frame rate. I mean, that's really the type of tech that's making it possible to run some of the latest games on that less powerful Steam Deck. It's getting to a point where I think some developers are just abusing it. Just look at Immortals of Avium and just how blurry the game runs on the Xbox Series S. Now, they did announce some big titles here. We got Ubisoft with Division. The new Assassin's Creed will be releasing on the iPhone 15 Pro in 2024. And then Capcom is on board with Apple. They got Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 4 releasing later this year. Now, I've done a bit of AAA gaming on my iPhone, but it's all been through cloud gaming, just like I'm playing Starfield right here. I mean, the experience isn't bad. The picture quality actually looks decent if you have a good connection. But I do have two main problems. Number one, I always have to be connected online. If I'm not at home and I have to use my data, public Wi-Fi networks are just not fast enough for cloud gaming. Heck, even if I am using my data, say I have enough of it, that data speed might still not be fast enough. The second issue I have is the input delay you get from the controls. With cloud gaming, there's a huge input delay. Just look at this example here. I'm playing Starfield on my Series X and I get an input delay of about 7 frames. With cloud gaming on my Xbox One, that delay jumps to 12 frames. It's a pretty big jump, enough for you to notice it while playing. Try aiming in a first-person shooter game with cloud gaming, it's really frustrating. Now, when I go buy a phone, I normally don't buy it for gaming, but with the ability to play big games on it natively, I might look at that. That might be one of the things I might consider. I really don't know what Apple's play here is. They clearly don't want to be much part of cloud gaming. Maybe they saw Google fail and said, hey, we're not doing that. So with this, are they trying to rival, the Steam Deck, the Nintendo Switch? Are they trying to go after gaming PCs? Or maybe even take a cut from Sony and Xbox consoles? It's going to be interesting to see how far Apple goes with this. Will they release an official Apple controller or maybe an attachment like the backbone? Will they release something to dock your iPhone to your TV? I mean, there is AirPlay, but that's once again streaming, and the signal can be fairly choppy. Will Apple even be successful with this whole gaming thing? I mean, they rarely fail, no matter what. People just, seem to follow what Apple's doing. What this all means for me is that I'll have to go and buy an iPhone 15 Pro just so I can review and test gaming on it. I mean, after all, it's now more of a dedicated gaming device. I do think it's going to be a slow start to this whole gaming on Apple thing. We just have a few games on the horizon. It's really going to take more games, more developers jumping on board for all this to work. One of the big reasons that the Steam Deck was so popular and so successful is because it has an existing library of games. Same with ROG Ally, you got this huge existing library of PC games. They're on the PC platform. Developers are going to release games for PC, and it's all in place. Everything is there for Steam Deck and ROG Ally to be successful. I think it's going to take time for Apple. This thing's not really going to replace your Steam Deck or ROG Ally or Nintendo Switch or Xbox or PS5 anytime soon. So we'll see. We'll see how things are with Apple as a dedicated gaming device by the time this time next year when the iPhone 16 rolls around.